All right, this is the second meeting for Friday, April 16th, starting at 1700. And we are waiting for everybody to start showing up. Once the first person shows up, I'll start recording again, and we will continue the discussion to set up the relief for the impacted people over in the Caribbean from the volcano. And I'll see you soon. All right, I'm resuming recording for Friday, April 16th at 17:09. And we are going to continue our conversations about the relief efforts in the Caribbean for the volcano or natural disaster. So first off, I want to start off by asking if anybody has any questions whatsoever. We can build off that. Okay, sweet. So we are still waiting for more people, a lot more people. Hopefully they'll trickle in. But I want to start off by saying the goal, we need to make a master list. And the master list is going to contain emails of point of contacts for each for each organization participating in this global effort. I will, we're going to work on setting up a master list that's going to be organized in a way where, like, you can see, hey, this is who's organizing it. This is who's in charge here, here, here. So we're going to have everybody who's in charge around the globe, and we're going to have a list of addresses. Those lists of addresses are going to dictate where people send what supplies to. So those supplies, and we need to come up with those locations. So as far as Europe goes, we cannot use England. And the reason we cannot use England is because they're already overwhelmed. There's a lot of other people doing the same thing, just not on a large scale like this. England's already overwhelmed. So we need to use probably Germany or Norway. There's a site in Canada. So people in Canada that are already there, I'm trying to set something up with them so we can make sure supplies could probably go through them. Then, as far as the United States go, I think we're going to have a site in New York and a site in Georgia. I'm trying to set up all those details so we can make sure we get the shipping taken care of. Setting up the site's one thing, but getting the stuff shipped is a completely different monster to take care of, because we got to make sure not only someone ships it for free, but we also need to make sure that they make it there and that none of the supplies are taken from the people that it's meant for. Now, monetary donations. Our goal is $2 million. So we're trying to set up, and yes, if we can go past that goal, that's amazing, because they need all the help they can get. What I'm trying to do is find out the exactly correct person to talk to so we can link the money to an account that goes straight to them. And so far, setting up a GoFundMe is an option. And if we do that, again, we need that account. So I'm trying to find the right person. I don't want to make any mistakes. There's zero room for mistakes with that one. And the other option is calling up the embassy for their government and possibly setting it up directly through their government. However, I don't know anything about their government. Therefore, man, and Zeke is here, so we're gonna have to back up and say this all over again. Give me a sec.
In regards to the government, are we talking St. Vincent, or is there a specific group that covers the entire Caribbean?
I don't know, Virgin Islands. I don't know if it's just the Caribbean in general, the Bahamas. You know, man, there's so many different names being thrown around out there. I have to find out the right one. That's imperative. How you doing, Zeke?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just trying to hash out details and figure out what to do with my hands. But so far, the last meeting, there was only 3 people that showed up, not a big deal. We're getting a good turnout here. But we are going to set up multiple different sites around the world. And I was telling the guys, you can't use England. The reason you can't use England is because they're overwhelmed with supplies already. So we have to use Germany or Norway as a place to ship products from. In the United States,
Oh,
we
okay.
have New York and we have Atlanta, or my area in Georgia. Then in Canada, there's a site in man, I can't remember what part, but there's a site already set up there. I'm trying to coordinate and see if I can get in touch with somebody to run the supplies through there. One of our brothers who are in Canada will have to kind of monitor that and be like, hey, these supplies are coming from us, because we want to monitor what happens to the supplies once they're there to make sure that no one's stealing them, because we don't want to.
Yeah, makes sense.
So same thing. So if we have any brothers in South America, I don't know if we do. I'd like to set something up with them as well if they're able to do it. More specifically, the best place to set up a site, since we're talking about the Caribbean, would be English-speaking Guyana, which is in the northeastern corner of, hold on. Yeah, it's in the northeastern corner of South America.
We don't have anybody there.
Mhm.
No, man, we don't have anybody in that area. We don't anybody south of the United States. We don't have any chapters.
Okay, well, we could probably fix that.
Yes, we'll have to. The problem is that we don't have a market there, so that's why we haven't ever been able to tap into it. But eventually, we should be able to do that.
Yeah, no worries. No
Let me
worries.
see who's there.
So everybody in South America will have to ship north to either Atlanta, probably most likely to Atlanta.
Okay.
As far as Europe goes, yes, Europe will have to probably find a way to get all their supplies over to Germany and Norway, or Norway. And Asia, do we have any brothers in Asia?
We do not, bro.
Okay, so Asia.
Closest thing that we have to Asia is Australia.
Okay, well, Australia is perfect. If Australia wants to set a site up over there, then we can do that. If they don't,
Yeah.
then what we can do is have them ship directly to Germany or Norway, whichever one we choose to do.
No, I'm sure the Australian ed would be all over this.
Okay, awesome. And the other location would be Africa. Do we have any African brothers that would be on any generals over there?
We don't have anybody in Africa yet.
Okay, so I have connections in Kenya, Tanzania, and Gambia and Nigeria. I can put the word out. So what we'll do is we'll just tell them to ship everything to Europe if they want to donate. And those are the sites. So what I intend to do is we need to set up a master list of all the emails of everybody running this. And if anybody has questions, like people like you, the generals and stuff, yeah, please reach out to me so we can get it taken care of. And then we'll, push out whatever we need to push out to the guys. And then the other organizations like the churches, the groups that are already doing this, we need to make sure that guys are in touch with those people. They don't have to go through me to talk to them. I would just like to set up to make sure we can have something going through and we can have our people show up at those sites. And then as far as monetary donations, I'm setting the goal. I know this is a lot of money, but I'm setting the goal for $2 million. We can do it because it's a global effort. If we go above that goal, perfect. But what I'm struggling with is finding the right person that money goes to. And we can't set up a monetary donation link at all until we know who that money's going to, because I don't man, I don't want to put it in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
We were just talking about before you got here, talking to their government and maybe doing it through their government. But again, I don't even know how their government operates. I don't know if the people see them as trustworthy.
Yeah. I
So,
don't know if that's gonna be a great idea.
that's what I'm saying, man. I'm looking for options. So we'll, maybe
Well,
one of
what
the
do you need?
organizations that are have boots on ground over there, maybe that might be the go-to people.
So when you say who the money goes to, what exactly are you referring to? Who's going to establish? Do we need to get a GoFundMe account? Do we need to? What is it exactly that you want to do? And what
like,
does it entail? The money go to something.
It looks
To
like
someone.
we're gonna have to set up a GoFundMe account, but as far as who it goes to, what I mean by that is I want to put it in the right hands that are not going to be like, oh, $2 million, let me do whatever I want with this. I need an organization that's legit. Their focus is taking care of this situation, and they're going to use the money properly, not only just to get supplies that these people need, but to also help them provide funds to rebuild their homes when all this is over, or get it clean.
Okay, so you're looking. You're not looking for somebody to hold that. You're looking for an organization to actually do something with it.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's a whole different ballgame. Okay, got it.
And that's one of the things I'm struggling with the most. Now, as far as getting products, Heather, I'm not sure. Were you able to talk to that church yet?
So I started to last night, but then she got a phone call for an emergency.
Mhm.
So her and I, we do have plans to catch back up this weekend.
Mhm.
So that way there we can discuss it and she can bring the elders within it and such.
Okay, perfect. And again, we have another meeting tomorrow. I'm not above making more meetings. If someone wants to have another meeting aside from the one we have going on tomorrow, I will set it up quick, fast, in a hurry. I'll bend my schedule. I don't care what it takes. There's 2 churches in New York, one of which, one of my friends from the West Indies, she's talking to one of her pastors, and he apparently has some global connections, including the airports, including Germany, shipping, all that stuff. I think I'm going to try and push everything through him. And that would definitely help out a lot. The only other issue that we need to figure out is whose 501c3 we're using. And I'm thinking probably the best bet, if we get this church in, we can use their EIN number and to say for the tax returns if people are really concerned about that. So we can, handle those monies correctly. And then once it's all over, it'll take like 3 signatures from the 3 different organizations to release the money. So it goes, so we can monitor, hey, this is how it's happening. Now, as far as the products, a colleague of mine and a really good friend, someone I look up to, we have experience all over the world, and we see things that other people will never get to see. And a lot of them are pretty horrific. And some of those include, people in those situations. You're going to have the biggest, baddest guy on the street who's going to come up and take all that and kill everybody and use it to sell to people who need it, and keep it for himself. And he was telling me to look out for that. And I 100% agree. He brought it up. I didn't even think about it. Great guy. So we need to, I don't know if there's a way we can come up with.
Is there a nonprofit? Is there a nonprofit with boots in the ground there?
Yes. I just don't
What's the most?
There's
okay. That I think that's what we need to figure out, because if we have a nonprofit that has boots on the ground there, usually nonprofits that are big enough and they go into places where that's a possibility, they'll have and I know this because I used to run operations for a security company, and sometimes they'll have security operatives going with them in order to help them navigate those type of situations. So I mean, the larger the entity, the more chances are they're gonna have that. So that might be a good way to find out who has boots on the ground and just go for the bigger fish.
Okay, so that's a good idea. Let's attack that. And I would like to find out if there's a way the Beard Struggle can set up something to where if we have to, we can get guys boots on the ground there too.
Can you email me what you would need from the Beer Struggle?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man, so I mean, just I will email you all those details, but just off the top of my head, just organizing everything to make sure we have these sites that I want the Beard Struggle to monitor what's happening at these sites to make sure things aren't taken, to make sure they get from point A to point B. There will be SOPs set into place to
And when you say the Beer Struggle, you're talking about the Midgard Vikings.
yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. And once we get that established, man, releasing supplies, I'm probably thinking maybe 2 signatures to say, hey, yes, I'm releasing to these supplies to the person who will be shipping them there too. And then we need like 2 signatures probably when they arrive. If we can set that up, I think that's the safest bet, because again, man, I would hate to see everybody have all this work behind this just to have it stolen by some scumbag.
No. Yeah. So what do you need in regards of signatures? Whose signatures are you going to need?
So so each site, will have a setup to where all the packages come through there. Then we'll have a truck come, pull up, load it, and bring it where it needs to go to ship it across the pond. And once that happens, we need those persons who are running that location for the just to sign it off saying, hey, yeah, this is what we are shipping out. This is what we're releasing. And, we'll probably have to have like a cargo slip or something saying, hey, this is a list of everything we have. And then when it arrives, it needs to match.
Who's handling that the cargo shipment? Meaning, who's picking up the tab for that?
I'm working on setting that up through the pasture in New York.
Okay.
From the West Indian friend that I told you about. She'll talk to him. He has a huge connection. I'm still setting him a meeting. I would like for you and Jan to also talk to him, because I mean, you got some pretty good questions that he would be able to answer. Man, I'm not yes, I'm spearheading this, but I'm not opposed to, dude, I know to listen to other people if they have better ideas. I'm not opposed to it. So if you got something that would work, let's make it happen.
Yeah, because I was just, let me think on it a little bit. Because we are going to be able to have a much bigger organization on this. I mean, honestly, I wish we'd had our charity organization status already up and running, because that would solve a lot of our problems.
I can help with that.
But when it comes, well, we already have our CPA and an attorney working on getting everything set up. One of the requirements was having everything trademarked, so we're in the process of getting everything trademarked, everything in the proper structure. So we are in the process of doing that, but it takes time, so we're not going to have it on time for this.
No, I get
so
it.
we're going to have to rely on other organizations. Now, when you tell me about how to handle the logistics of it when it comes to security on the ground, I think that's going to be the biggest issue. I mean, because we're not talking about a small donation. I mean, when we talk about $2 million, you're definitely putting a target on that.
Yes.
So I think the most important thing is going to be who's going to be running point on the ground to make sure that everything goes to the right place, right?
Yes.
So whoever that person is going to be, that's the person that we need to have a conversation with, because we're putting basically anybody that's participating on this, they're putting the name of the organization into making sure that this gets to where it's supposed to get, right? Yes. So I think the next person that we should talk to is whoever you said a pastor, whoever the pastor is that will be taking care of when we get the things to the ship, and then from that ship that is going to be transported to where it's going to be transported. My main concern would be who's receiving that, because
That's what I'm
that's
concerned
when the
about
monkey
too.
business. Yeah. So
That's
that's when
why
the
I
monkey
want boots
business
on
happens.
ground.
The problem with boots on ground is that we're gonna have to find a way to probably afford the boots on ground.
Yeah.
I am so out of it, dude. Remind me the name of the country right now.
So St. Vincent and Grenada are the ones being
you.
impacted by the volcano. The outlying islands away from it, like St. Lucia and some other places, Trinidad.
Where would this stuff be landing?
That's the problem. There's so many different
Oh, we
countries
don't
that
know.
are taking them in. Because like I said, I know St. Lucia's taking a lot of supplies in. But there's also other ones, and they're close enough to get what they need to these people. But what's happening is they're using Carnival cruise ships to go and pick up the people from the islands impacted, and they're bringing them to the outlying islands that are, out of danger. And they're setting up places where they could sleep. And that's why these people need stuff like adult diapers, underwear, toilet paper, hygiene, food, water, gasoline. Man, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
They need it all. And that's why it's important to make sure the money is handled correctly, because they can use it to, get things that they need, but also help them rebuild when it's time to go back.
Yeah, and the truth, bro, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I don't know what is going to be, what the policy is going to be with allowing people to travel over there. Because the problem is, I don't know if we're going to be able to send boots on the ground. Even if we were able to send boots on the ground, it's about $1,500 a pop to send boots on the ground. I'm sure for East Coast guys, it's going to be a lot cheaper, obviously. But
yeah, it's like $200 right now. It's not bad, but that's not neither here.
$200 from the East Coast.
Yeah, like I tested it last month and just to see what it would be to get a ticket, and it was pretty cheap. But that was last month. But we don't have to have boots. I would like boots on the ground. We don't have to have that. If we can maintain a good communication link between the people running the show down there that are already boots on ground, I think that'll work.
Yeah, I think having a conversation with the pastor that's spearheading this would be a step in the right direction, because I mean, as long as we have peace of mind, we might not even need to do that.
Okay, that works. And yeah, man. So we know what we need to do. We just need to go forward and push and make it happen. I am having a meeting. Hopefully, I will have a successful meeting on Saturday with the people who are in these organizations already. And that meeting is going to happen at 13:30. I do realize that we have awards going on at that time, but I want you to be aware, all meetings are being recorded, and I will be sending those meeting recordings in an email to everybody who's in a leadership position.
So 13:30, what time zone are we talking about?
Eastern.
Eastern, okay. And that is tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow at 13:30. And if you'd like I said, I recorded the last meeting. It's already uploaded. I'm recording this one. As soon as this meeting's over, I will upload it. These are key leaders right now on this meeting that are going to be taking part. And then hopefully the next one, it would have been nice to have more people in Europe, but hey, man, it's kind of tough, to get things to work when you have different time zones. The best thing I can do is get these meetings uploaded so all the leadership can have a hold of them, including the organizations. And then if I need to, I'll even set up more meetings, and I'll even record a video that explains, hey, these are the questions I received and these are the answers I got.
Perfect.
Questions.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll take
Hey,
it.
check on the chat, bro. I send you my email. Would you be able to add me to the meeting?
Yeah. The link's already sent out there. I'll resend it again in the XO chat, since that's the only one I have access to.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to be able to add it to my calendar so I don't forget. Because if I don't put placeholders in my calendar, it gets taken by something else.
And where are you located, Zeke?
I'm in Washington State, so 30 miles north of Seattle.
All right, that's that. Oof.
Yeah. I'm
Doing
far
your-
away. That's why
Doing your field up there, man, that sucks.
I.
They're really strict with laws up there, man.
They're really what?
They're really strict with laws when it comes to your profession up there.
Oh, what do you mean with my profession?
Security.
Oh, I'm not doing that anymore, bro. So no. Been out of the game for a long time.
Fair
But I
enough.
used to do it back home when I was in Argentina. We run security all over South America.
Oh, nice. Fun.
Yeah. But no, I'm not doing that anymore. But what I'm saying is I was trying to check because if it wasn't going to be a big deal, I figure I can work from anywhere. So I would just put myself boots on the ground over there.
Yeah,
and
no,
help out.
that
But
works.
I think
If
it's
you
going to
could
be a
do
little bit more
that'd be
complicated than that.
I
The problem is that from here is $1,500, dude.
yeah, no worries. You like don't
I
do
was
that if you don't
gonna-
need to. Like as far as I go, I know I have Sky Miles saved up through Delta from going to Dubai, Afghanistan, Iraq, all those different places. So I
There you
should
go.
be able to
Yeah.
use those Sky Miles to make it cheaper. But man, I don't know. Like if we can avoid it, perfect. Because honestly, man,
Yeah.
we'll just be adding one more body to the chaos over there.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't want to send anybody that is not used to being in that type of environment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never been in a hot zone, it's a fucking mess, dude. I remember
It really
Haiti;
is.
it's a mess.
It really is. But is there any other questions from anybody else right now? Like, is there anything I haven't covered? I need to send out a master email list. Go ahead. You look like you have a question.
This
Jason?
is Jason. Sorry, I just wanted to offer up. I live in Miami, Florida, so I don't know if I'm the closest guy. And I actually used to work in shipping. We'd ship to Venezuela
Sweet.
and Colombia, a few other countries. So I'm familiar with bills of lading. I never like went to the port myself, but I know where the cruise ships leave from here in
Mhm.
Miami. So if we find out that there's a St. Vincent Relief Fund, and there's a location here, if you want to have people ship things, and then I could go.
We
be
can
there in
actually
person,
move the
hey,
shipping.
check up on any beard struggle
So
or
what will
MBB
happen-
stuff.
What will
Um,
happen if that's the case? We can move all the shipping from Atlanta. We'll still have the one in New York, but we'll move it from Atlanta to Florida. And then I'll just drive my fourth point of contact down to Florida and help you guys out.
Yeah, Florida. I'm gonna be honest with you. Florida. If you guys need my help at all, Florida is a lot more doable for me. It's about 3:30 to
Yeah,
get over there, and
yeah, absolutely. So if you can chase after that with contacts you used to work with, and even find out if there's something where we can ship things for free, because that's the problem, man. Because if we can't ship it for free, we'll have to use some of that monetary donations that we're getting, and I don't want to do that. That's
Right.
that's kind of messed up. That's not what it's there for. We want to get them the help, and this is an emergency, man. They need help like 20 days ago. This is man.
Yeah.
And they're getting
There's
it.
probably
It's
a
tough.
collection center.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say, there's probably a collection center in a warehouse somewhere, and we can just add it onto the pile. So I'll look around and see what I can find out. Because I know my wife works for American Airlines. Some of the flight attendants would, gather stuff and fly it to Venezuela when they were starving, or kind of still are, right? But
wow.
I'll I'll look into it, see what I can find out.
Yeah.
And then as far as going there, I still have flight benefits. I just need to look at if they're going to force me to quarantine and stay. I mean, flight wise, I only end up paying the taxes to go
Does anybody
somewhere.
have their vaccines? I know that's kind of a personal question, and you don't have to answer it, but I already got both vaccines just to make it easier for me to travel. Find out if they'll accept that, so we don't have to quarantine.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, it's different for every country. So part of what I was also curious about is, where exactly are we sending the supplies? I don't think we're bringing refugees to the States necessarily. that would make it super easy if they
Yeah,
were coming here, but I think it's just surrounding islands for now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, there
so-
wasn't going to be any. They were not going to evacuate anybody that didn't have the vaccine, right?
No.
Isn't that what they were saying?
No, we're not evacuating anybody, period. We're not handling, in fact,
Right. But I'm saying in general. So that kind of gives you an idea of what their policy is going to be with no vaccine.
yeah, it's nuts over there, man. In fact, one of the things on the list is gonna be face masks. They need them. They're all, lack of a better term, gaggle fuck over there. It's bad.
Well, speaking of supplies and such, I think we need to figure out a definite list
Mhm.
of all supplies and items that are needed, because I don't want, people who are trying to donate to this to say, spend all kinds of money on this when they don't really need it, when it could have went to this. So I
Yeah,
think
you're
we need to
absolutely
figure
right.
out what exactly is needed.
So here's what I owe all the leadership. I owe you a list of a master email and phone number roster for the key leaders who will be running it. And this is even without, like, I'm just talking about generals and up, and organizations and other. And I'll put it in a chain of command format so you know, hey, this is who needs to talk to who. That way no one's jumping over anybody's head and overwhelming them. Next, I owe you a list of supplies that we should collect. If anybody has an idea to add on a different supply, man, please do. I'm down to add it on the list. And then I owe you a map. The map will highlight certain areas of the world, and probably I'll color coordinate it. And I'll tell everybody, if you're in this part of the world, you need to ship here. If you're in this part of the world, you need to ship here. And that way everybody knows, hey, this is the address. I can either go on Amazon and have it shipped directly to there. That way we can keep track, hey, this is what we're dealing with. And we need to make sure it says something to the lines, maybe volcano relief, and then the address. Or the beard struggle, and then the address. Whatever, I'll leave that up to you guys. And then, man, we need to, one of the other things, since I have both Jan and Zeke on here, we need to set up an SOP requirement for all of Beard Struggle for global charity events like this. That way it's like a checklist. So if any of the other ETs want to do something similar to this, they can be like, okay, I need to find this out, check. I need to find this out, check. That way we're not scrambling like this, because this is
well, this is the first initiative of this size that we're taking, right? So
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But and I'll be happy to help out with that too. But man, one beast at a time. But because I think it'd be better. There's a lot of natural disasters happening constantly that people don't know about. And there's a lot of people who didn't even know about this. So
yeah,
kind of insane. But are there any other questions? Go ahead. You doing all right over there, Jan?
Yes, sir. I am doing perfectly fine.
Did you have any questions for us? Do you want to add anything in or find anything out? Or
I just hopped in here at the tail end of this. I really didn't even know what I was getting into. So here I am.
I dropped the link on him, and I think I forgot to give him a big explanation. I was in a hurry.
Hey,
So Jan, basically, well, you know what? Chris knows how to explain it better than me.
Okay, yeah. So what we're doing, man, global effort, global push. Supplies are going to be shipped to different parts of the world. We're setting it up. Either Norway and Germany. We cannot use England. So anybody in Europe that says, hey guys, we got a port over here, let's use it in England, we can't, because it's already overwhelmed with supplies. So Norway, Germany, Canada, New York, Georgia, Florida. If Florida's open, and Jason's able to set that up, we're going to remove Georgia as one of them and just move it over to Florida instead of having all these different ports to ship it to. It just makes sense. Asia is going to have to ship over to Europe. Africa is going to have to ship over to Europe. And man, the list goes on. South America can ship up to Florida since we don't have any guys there. And then we have two contacts that we're hoping to get in touch with. One, Heather is going to reach out to, and it's a church. The other is a girl that I know from the West Indies, the Caribbean, pretty much. She has a contact, a pastor who has a bunch of contacts that are in Germany, in New York, here in the United States, the airports flying in and out. I guess he's like a chaplain over there too. Man, this dude's loaded with connections, so I think he's going to have some pull. The other thing we talked about is setting up the monetary donations, which we're setting at 2 million, but if we go above it, hey, perfect. We just need to make sure we connect with the right person. We need to set up the GoFundMe account and make sure that money goes into an account of a person we trust, and that the money goes to the person it's supposed to go to that can correctly monitor how it's handled. And when I say how it's handled, I mean buying supplies that are needed at the time, or holding on to that money and using it for rebuilding people's homes, cleaning everything and getting all the people back on their feet, because they're going to need that too. So that's the struggle we're having right now, besides our beats.
And so the meeting that you're talking to the pastor that's the one that's happening tomorrow.
It should be, and also the organizations
At
that have
1:30.
boots on ground. I believe the girl I'm talking to tomorrow that I invited to the meeting, I think she may be based in New York. But
Okay.
she has connections with all the other groups that are doing it. So if we can talk to them, see how they're doing it and who they have a connection with, it might point us in the right direction to say, hey, this is where we can send the money. This is who we can trust. And the equipment too, it'll allow us to talk to the group that's already in Canada and set it up through there, because they already have a site, and I believe they do have free shipping from that site. So
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm looking here. Boots on the ground is not going to be an option for anybody that's not already there.
yeah,
COVID-19 test required before your departure and a 14-day quarantine required on arrival.
yeah,
So yeah, and I don't think the vaccine is going to make a difference, because they said that you can transmit it anyway, even with the vaccine. So they're still going to quarantine you there.
okay. So
I think the
we'll
best,
take that
I
off
think
the
the best
table.
we're going to be able to do, what I would say, the best that we're going to be able to offer, if at all, when it comes to boots on the ground, would be deploying our guys to the points where the stuff is going to be loaded and sent over there. But
Yes.
then we need to talk to the organizations that have boots on the ground, that already have boots on the ground over there, to coordinate with them for them to receive it. So then it's going to be, hey, we send this stuff, signatures are here, let's take some video, let's take some pictures, whatever we need to take.
Do you
This is
think
what we
should ask
did
for an ID.
over there.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
okay, yeah, so let's do that. Let's
Anybody
make that an
involved,
SOP.
we should have IDs for anybody that's going to be involved in the
Transporting.
transfer of, damn it, I forgot the word in English, man.
Yeah, you're good.
Transfer of,
Goods, I don't know. Supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be we'll make like a bill of lading for how many pallets,
Yes.
just general goods, whatever it is.
custody. Yeah, transfer of custody. That's what I'm talking about. Every
Yes.
time there's a transfer of custody, then that's what happens, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they'll sign
So-
it and we'll have it back as proof.
Correct. Yeah, so the boat people will sign the transfer of custody, so it's in their responsibility. And then when it gets to the island, we sign another transfer of custody document, and then whoever has boots in the ground over there, they're responsible for that, right? but we should have the IDs of everybody that's going to be involved in that.
Absolutely. And hey, Muttley, how you doing? Where you coming in from?
I'm actually at Stronghold Castle,
Well, I mean, what state?
Illinois.
Okay, okay. Are you the general for
I'm-
Illinois?
Yeah, I just say I'm the Illinois general. So,
Sweet. sweet.
hey, real quick, human trafficking response team. How's that shit going, man?
Man, it's rough. It's like we're helping out with this, man. But let me tell you, man, we get no money coming in. I can tell you that.
Right. Well,
Like it's a struggle. And I was actually supposed to launch a charity on the 30th of April for the human trafficking response team. However, I canceled it because this is more important. So
right. Well,
yeah.
Hey, whenever this is over, Chris, let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I need all the help I can get. So you have a background. So
I was gonna
Let's
say
talk.
Illinois hasn't had a. I mean, we've been doing the charity through the Midwest group has kind of been ganged up together as far as our charities, but I found one small one that I was going to get in with and maybe try to get our logos on some shirts and whatnot. I'd love to try to set something up and help you out with that. Illinois is really slow to chat. Getting people engaged is I'm struggling with that myself right now. So,
and it's
but,
okay. You just have to find out you have to appeal to their ethos, man.
well, and that's part of why I'm here right now. Because actually, yeah, I'm gonna shoot a video here. I don't know you guys. I don't know how to work all this. Sorry, my gimbal's off right now. Oh, as you guys talk, I'll start to walk around. You guys, let's see if I can.
Alright.
I don't know. Can you see that up? Oh no, that didn't flip it. Can
Yeah.
you see that up through the woods there?
What are we looking at besides a bunch of trees?
Look past the trees.
Can't. It's just trees.
Well,
No, I see. There's a castle. Is that?
That's the castle for the
You
stay.
can see the kind of the outline there. I see that.
Oh, sweet. Is that the castle all the generals are meeting at?
It's in August, right?
This is I'm at where the August meet is gonna be. Yes, I don't have my seatbelt on. Is that better?
And you're
Oh,
gonna burn
wow.
for not wearing your seatbelt.
Woo! Pretty castle.
I mean, it's actually like a 18th century mansion, but it's
That's-
all
That's
castle
my new
grade
house,
out.
guys.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't. Sorry, guys, I didn't get in here to hijack the meeting, but
Oh no, you
I seen Coach Zeke respond. I'm like, well, heck, I'm sitting right here. I'll jump in because I wanted to hear what you guys got going on with this whole.
yeah, absolutely. So since you're the general, what I need from everybody who's in a leadership position, I need all the leadership, the generals and up. Unless the general is appointing someone else as a point of contact for their et, I need everybody's email, name, number, so we can make that roster. And what state
tell you what, you
represent
wanna-
or country.
You want to write mine down real quick?
Yeah, I can. Absolutely. Go for it.
While I'm
I
taking-
can write it down.
Okay.
All right, it's Nate's Stainless, NATES STAINLESS at gmail.com.
Can we get an Excel file going or something to where everybody can just plug their stuff in?
That's a good idea. I didn't even think
You mean a
about it.
shared file?
That's why I need you guys. That's
Yeah, we'll just get an Excel file. We can share it in so all the leaders, we have chats on Slack.
Mhm.
Charlie, would you mind getting that together and putting it in Slack and then having anybody that's wanting to get involved put their information in there after Chris gets us all the information that he needs?
Can we get
Yeah,
the
I can do it.
outside organizations in that too?
Yeah.
If possible, like Heather.
We can-
Serenity.
What we can do is we can make it a live file and we can share the file with everyone that needs to put their information in.
Perfect.
So anybody that's involved will have access to that file and be able to edit it.
Awesome. So that's a perfect idea, man. You know, if you have any questions about what type of information we need to collect, ask me. I just said it. And again, these videos are being recorded. Each meeting, the meeting tomorrow will also be recorded. Once all 3 of them are recorded, I will send them in an email to all the leaders. So if they want to send it to their guys, it'll also be uploaded to the Human Trafficking Response Team YouTube channel. And I'll even put it on my social media just so the public knows what's going on. And look, guys, I'm a really transparent person when it comes to charities. I want people to understand, hey, this is what your money's going to. That's why it's important we keep records of where everything's going, so we can show them, hey, we collected all these goods. This is where it went. So you have nothing to worry about. That way, if there is something that does go wrong, man, we can hold an investigation internally and externally about like, hey, let's find out what happened, find the source of the problem and fix it.
Yeah.
We want to cover our asses. So any other questions?
No.
Awesome sauce. Well, again, gentlemen, the next meeting will be held at 13:30 on Saturday. Hopefully the organizations, pastors and all that will be involved. And we'll update you on everything, and I will make sure these videos go out to everybody.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, thank you.
Sounds good. I'll be there. That's gonna be 10:30 a.m. for me tomorrow. So
Mhm.
I'll be looking to join on that one. I gotta track down where the link is.
Perfect. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. I know it's kind of hectic. Everybody's got their own thing going on, and let's have fun with those awards tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, y'all have a
That's
good
right. We
one.
got the IDON awards tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Have a good one, fellas.
Have a good night.
All right, so this concludes the second meeting for April 16th, 2021 at 1700. This meeting has officially ended at 1756.